So in this case, I have a natural logarithm, and then I'm going to throw in a good old quadratic. Awesome, right? Okay, so going back to the parent function, we know that the argument or the graph of the logarithm is always going to be positive. So there's another way that we can kind of describe how to define the domain. The domain is going to be whatever is in our argument has to be greater than 0. And I could have done that for this one. I just think for this first example, it's easier to understand it using transformations. But you could have also done the exact same thing over here and said x minus 3 has to be greater than 0. And then you say x is greater than 3. Domain is from 3 to infinity, right? It's really easy that way. But I want to make sure students understand the foundation of transformations and what the parent graph looks like. So that's why I taught that one that way. But in this example, I don't know what these transformations are. Like this is not something I can do in that previous example. So I need to go ahead and write out this inequality. X squared minus 4x minus 12 has to be greater than 0. Okay, so what the heck do we do here? Well, we need to understand a quadratic graph and what that could possibly look like. Because a quadratic graph, right, could look something like this. It could look something like this, or it could look something like that. Right? And so if we want to identify when those values are going to be larger than 0, what we're doing is looking for when the values are going to be above that x-axis. Okay? So we need to identify if it crosses the x-axis and where. Well, how do we identify those intercepts of when a graph crosses the x-axis? Factor, right? Or completing the square, whatever. We want to find when those values are going to be equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, can I go ahead and factor this? And it looks like this is actually something easy to factor. X minus 6 times a x plus 2. Go ahead and check my work, ladies and gentlemen. And negative 6, that's negative 12. Yeah, everything looks good. So looks like we have two intercepts. We have an intercept of positive 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'd have another intercept of negative 2. Right? Because again, just remember, if I was solving, let's say we were just saying, solve this quadratic equation, and you get x minus 6 times an x plus 2, and it was equal to 0, right? What would you do? You would apply the zero product property. X minus 6 is equal to 0. X minus 6 is equal to 0, or x plus 2 is equal to 0. And then you go and solve x equals 6, x equals negative 2. Those would be the solutions to that quadratic equation. Now again, we're not solving a quadratic equation. We're trying to identify the values of our quadratic that are going to be larger than 0. But we need to understand where is it going to cross the x-axis, because to the left of this point is positive, to the right is negative, right? To the left of this point is negative, to the right is positive. So the next thing we need to understand is the orientation. Is this quadratic opened up, like in my little pictures I did, or is it open down, right? Because again, remember, quadratics can open down as well as open up. And that's all dependent on our A. Right? If A is positive, the graph opens up. If A is negative, the graph opens down. So we see that our A here is a positive 1. So this graph is going to look something like this. Now again, we're using this to be able to understand when are our x values, for what x values is the graph going to be positive? Well, it's going to be positive in this direction or over on this side, and it's going to be positive on this side. However, between the points negative 2 and 6, this graph is negative. So these would produce us negative values that would be our values that would be less than 0, which would make then our argument of our logarithm negative, which is not going to be a part of our domain. So what we can say here is the x values that are less than negative 2 and the x values that are greater than a positive 6. So if I want to write my domain in what we call our set notation, I can write this as a negative infinity, right? Because this graph can continue going to the left all the way to negative 2, because that's the farthest it's going to go. Because then after negative 2, what? The values go negative. We only want the values in our domain to be positive, right? Because that's what you can only take the logarithm of. And then we'll combine that with 6 to positive infinity, right? So nothing between here, but then we go from 6 to infinity. And that would be your domain.